Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the podcast. And today I'm going to go my review of WWE Smackdown. Starting off the evening, we have a Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax segment. Tiffany Stratton was pretty much having a celebration for Nia Jax, being that she is the Queen of the Ring and the new WWE Women's Champion. Jax comes out to the ring with a Queen chair. Nia Jax talks about SummerSlam and dethroning Bayley. Nia Jax then puts the women's division on notice. Nia Jax then wants Tiffany to bow down to her. After that, Pretty Deadly perform a musical. Meechin is here. Meechin then attacks Tiffany, Nia Jax, and Pretty Deadly. Looks like Meechin is going to be the next new number one contender, if you will, for Nia Jax Women's Championship. Moving on from that, we go into our first official match of the night. It is Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. This has been kind of a rivalry between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. I think it's so far the best out of three so far. And Andrade, for what it's worth, has been pretty much destroying Carmelo Hayes in the past few weeks. But the match itself, man, this was a great match. This kind of gave off NXT Black and Gold vibes for me. It was a great match, back and forth matchup. Carmelo was keeping the pace of the match, but Andrade hits a moonsault to the outside, taking out Carmelo Hayes. Andrade then hits a Spanish fly off the top rope for a near fall. Andrade then hits a spinning back elbow that looked absolutely brutal on Carmelo Hayes for a near fall. But Carmelo hits a roll-up on Andrade, pins him for the 3, and your winner of the match is Carmelo Hayes. Hats off to Carmelo Hayes for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It's Naomi versus Blair Davenport. I thought it was a good match. Back and forth matchup between Naomi and Blair, with Naomi and Blair both exchanging in the middle of the ring. Naomi was keeping the pace of the match. Naomi hits an enziguri on Blair Davenport, but Blair hits the finish on Naomi, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Blair Davenport. Hats off to Blair Davenport for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we have our next match of the night. Is Kevin Owens versus Grayson Waller. I thought it was a good match, man. It was a back and forth matchup between Owens and Waller, with Owens keeping the pace of the match. Waller then hits a springboard elbow drop on Owens, but Owens gets up, hits a stunner on Grayson Waller, and then Owens hits a pump-up powerbomb on Waller as well, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Kevin Owens. After the match, Waller and Theory attack Owens after the match, but Cody comes down to the ring to save Kevin Owens. Hats off to Kevin Owens for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we have an LA Knight segment. LA Knight comes out to the stage. He mocks Santos Escobar. Looks like there's some unfinished business there between LA Knight and Santos Escobar. And it looks like there will be a match, I believe, this Friday, where LA Knight defends the United States Championship against Santos Escobar. Definitely looking forward to that matchup this Friday. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It's a number one contender for the Tag Team Championships. Again, this was a great match. Really gave me NXT Black and Gold vibes. It was a back and forth matchup between DIY and the Street Profits, with the Profits keeping the pace of the match. Gargano and Ford both exchanged in the middle of the ring, with Ford ultimately hitting a blockbuster, pins for the 3, and your winners of the match and new number one contenders are the Street Profits. Hats off to the Street Profits for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we have a Solo Sikoa segment. Solo comes out to the ring. He calls out Roman Reigns. Roman shows up. He comes down to the ring. Roman and Solo both exchange in the middle of the ring. Tama Tonga then attacks Roman. Roman then hits a Superman punch on Solo, as well as a spear on Solo. Roman then picks up the necklace, if you will, to symbolize being the tribal chief. After that, he's attacked by Jacob Fatu. Fatu returns from injury from SummerSlam, and he attacks Roman Reigns. A couple things I want to talk about, man, as far as SummerSlam and just this week in general. Let's start with SummerSlam, man. SummerSlam, I mean, it was a great show. And I've said this multiple times now for the past couple weeks. The main roster is firing on all cylinders. This Bloodline storyline, man, I told you guys before, if you guys watch Smackdown and you guys are not fans of the Bloodline storyline, Smackdown's not it for you. And I know some people are saying, well, there's Cody Rhodes. Well, to me, Cody Rhodes, do I think Cody Rhodes is entirely done with the Bloodline? No. But does he have a high-profile match coming up here soon? Yeah, he does. I mean, he's going to defend the WWE Championship, the Universal title, against Kevin Owens. That is going to happen. But SmackDown predominantly is all about the Bloodline and what Roman Reigns is doing in Solo Sikoa, and how the new Bloodline kind of intertwines himself into what Roman Reigns is doing. And since Roman has come back at SummerSlam, man, and I told you guys, it's going to be a hell of a run for Roman Reigns. He's coming back as the biggest babyface of the company right now. A lot of people even want to hear what Roman has to say when it pertains to Solo Sikoa and this new bloodline. And right now, we don't know where this is going to go. To me, if I had to predict what's going to happen, it's going to be an all-out civil war between the new bloodline and the original bloodline. And I think Roman is going to align himself back up with Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso and possibly Sami Zayn. And I can definitely see that possibly happening here in the relatively near future with Survivor Series, I believe, coming around November. So I think they're going to start building towards a possible War Games matchup between the new bloodline and the old bloodline. But as far as SmackDown, man, it was a great show. It was a solid show. We had two, to me, really good matches. You have Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. And I mentioned this earlier. It gave me off NXT Black and Gold vibes. And then we had DIY versus the Street Profits for the number one contendership for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and the Street Profits pulled it off. To be honest with you, as far as the Street Profits are concerned, I think they're a great tag team. But I do remember distinctly when Montez Ford was kind of going on that singles run for a little bit, and they kind of stopped that. And I think Ford is another guy that can really break away from the Street Profits and really go on his own and become a superstar on his own. Montez Ford is the complete package, man. He has the voice. He has the athleticism to, have fantastic matches in that ring. But unfortunately right now, it's not, well, I wouldn't say unfortunate. Right now, Street Profits are they're a premier tag team within WWE. But it does beg the question of what would happen if Montez Ford was really on his own and really went on a singles run, and Triple H allowed him to have that singles run to see what Montez Ford can really do and what he's capable of, because he's got future world champion or future champion written all over him, to be honest with you. Ford has a lot of potential, in my honest opinion, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to this matchup between the Street Profits and the Bloodline for the WWE Tag Team Championships. The other thing I want to talk about too, man, and what's besides SmackDown, is that this is going to be a busy week. I mean, obviously, if you guys haven't noticed by now, All In is this weekend, live from Wembley. This is going to be a big weekend, not only for myself with the podcast, but for wrestling fans in general, man. It's going to be a great week. We got, obviously, Monday Night Raw tonight. We have Dynamite, the go-home show for Dynamite leading up to Wembley. It's going to be great, man. I think, and I stand behind this, and I don't know if you guys listened to my Dynamite episode that I did last Wednesday or last Thursday, that, AEW needs to come out the box swinging, to be honest with you, man. Come all in at Wembley. There needs to be surprises, possible returns. They need to hit it out of the park, man, to be honest with you. And I'm definitely excited. All In is their biggest show of the year. Get a lot of high-profile matches. But this is going to be a busy, busy week for wrestling fans, man. A lot of excitement around, obviously, Wembley Stadium and All In. SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, obviously Dynamite, the go-home show leading up to All In. It's going to be a busy, busy week. So with that being said, yes, we will have a Monday Night Raw review that will come out tomorrow. Probably most likely tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Pretty much the same thing I've been doing every Monday. Obviously, Dynamite will be uploaded on Thursday. SmackDown will be uploaded Monday, as well as the review for All In. I know some people might not be a fan of that. It's just this weekend is very, very busy. A lot of stuff going on behind the scenes right now. But there will be a review for All In as well as SmackDown. And I will also try to do a preview and predictions for you guys for All In as well once the full card does come out. I think we're going to get another match or two announced possibly on Dynamite this week. And I will give you guys my preview and predictions of who I think might be some surprises or surprise returns possibly coming into All In. And hopefully AEW can, again, man, hit a grand slam coming out of All In. But SmackDown was awesome. The main roster right now with what Raw and SmackDown are doing right now and what Triple H is doing with WWE, they're firing on all cylinders, man. They are a global company, man. They are just a powerhouse company. They just had that Fanatics deal in New York where a lot of superstars were doing autograph signings and stuff like that. It is a global brand, and they are the top dog right now in professional wrestling, hands down. And there's a lot of superstars, probably from even AEW and other companies that probably possibly want to work within WWE because of what they're doing right now. They are firing on all cylinders. I'm definitely excited. Definitely excited for Bash in Berlin, too. I know that's coming up. I know Gunther has a high-profile matchup at Bash in Berlin, defending that belt against Randy Orton. So, I mean, again, it's going to be high-profile matches, man, and WWE is firing on all cylinders. I believe Bash in Berlin is going to be August 31st, around 1 p.m. Eastern. Definitely looking forward to that. I will be doing a review for that as well. But a lot of excitement coming in toward the end of the summer here, man, especially with AEW and WWE. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to All In as well as Bash in Berlin. But with that being said, this is my review of WWE SmackDown. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. Be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.